Welcome back to another day in the life. Today we are working on painting these three pieces, this dresser and chest set, and then this dresser will all be painted. And if the rain clears up a little bit, we are going to be putting this buffet back together and taking it to the store after we stage it. So let's get going. Of course, as with anything, we start with prepping. Prepping is so important to make sure that you have a nice smooth surface for your paint to adhere to. And this dresser had a lot of scratches on the top, so the plan was to sand off the old finish, and then after getting through a little bit, we realized it was MDF, so we just decided to just sand out all of the scratches to create a nice, smooth, and even consistent surface on the top. Then the rain cleared up a little bit, so we decided to get this buffet put together and staged so that we can take it to the store later today. You can find most of this staging decor linked in our Amazon storefront. We will have the list linked in the description below. We just got these lanterns that have the automatic flicker for the camera, and it just creates the perfect ambiance for our staging decor. This dresser went into the store. We bought it for $220 and we sold it for $950 within a week. So that was pretty good profits. Then we went to this dresser and chest, of course removing all of the hardware while Matt finished prepping the rest of that black dresser that will be going in the color Perfect Khaki. And I'm working on the set that will be going in the color Hail Navy. Just a matter of personal preference, I like to prep the drawers while they're still inside the chest. I just feel like it's just a lot easier, but I will remove the drawers after I prep the sides and the top so that I can get the inside frame of the chest. Then I'm moving on to prepping the dresser with our 3x4 electric gray and our denatured alcohol mix, which we will have all of it listed down below. And while I'm doing that, Matt is on to priming the Perfect Khaki dresser, his handy-dandy Lazy Susan 4 drawers that he built. While he is doing that, I'm going to be sanding off the finish from the drawers for the Hail Navy set. It had a lot of scratches and dings in it, so we just decided to sand off the original finish. While I'm doing that, Matt has moved on to priming the dresser and doing the framework of the dresser. One tip that we have learned is we do the sides, then we do the front, and then we finish off by priming and painting the top. And we get asked a lot what sprayer we use. We use the Apollo sprayer, and you can find it linked in the description below. While Matt is doing that, I have moved on to sanding off the top of the dresser. I am using the 6-inch orbital Festool sander, and you can find that linked in the description below. While I'm doing that, Matt is with the 3x4 electric gray, and he is getting the drawers using 120 and 180. And after he did that, he used a super fine pad to scuff sand the drawers that he had just primed to get any dust bubbles or any paint bubbles that had gotten onto the surface before he did the first coat of paint. While that paint is drying, he went back to sanding the drawers, and then he used the tape drape to tape it off so that when we spray the Hail Navy paint, we don't get the overspray on the inside of the drawers. You can find the tape drape linked in our description below as well. Then it was on to priming the Hail Navy set. We used a black primer, and I am running drawers while Matt paints. This just finds that it's a lot more effective time-wise for me to run the drawers for him. And then he went on to doing the chest. Again, we do the sides, the front, and then finally the top. Moved that out. Everything is on rollers so that we can keep everything moving pretty quickly. And then it was time to prime the dresser. We chose to take the drawers out of our dresser and chest before we do the priming and the painting, just because we feel like in order to get a good coat of paint on, we like for it to sit upright so that we don't get any drip marks if we have a little heavier coat of paint. And it's also easier for us to get the framework on the inside underneath the drawers and down the center of the drawers if the dresser drawers are out. To each their own, but that is what we have just found works best for us. Now it is time to prime the top of the dresser, and you can see that Matt is putting safety first and using the RZ mask. This is the M3 mask by RZ, and you can find it linked in the description below. Then we move on to finishing up the dresser. One thing that we like to do is we like to put Bible verses into the pieces that we are going to be selling and any custom work that we do, just as a little ministry and to let people know that we are praying for them. And since we have a break in the rain, we got this buffet to the store, and as we said, within a week we sold this dresser for $950. And then we went back home and we did a light scuff sand of these Hail Navy drawers that we were going to be doing, just in case there was any dust that settled while the primer was still drying. And it gives a very nice smooth finish if we do this before we put any paint on. And we also do this in between coats of paint as well. Then after that, we get all of the dust off with a lightly damp microfiber cloth, and then it is ready to be the first coat of paint, and we'll be painting this in the color Hail Navy. So while the paint is getting ready, we are putting the dresser drawers back in place, getting all the tape off and putting this back in, and the perfect khaki dresser is done. And now we've moved on to the Hail Navy set. I am back to running drawers, and Matt is the one who is spraying. And this is all the drawers for the dresser and the chest that will be done first, and then we'll move on to the painting the dresser and the chest. If you will notice on the perfect khaki dresser, we used a really light color primer, and then on the Hail Navy set we used a black primer. This is so that when we put the coat of paint on, we don't need to use as much product because the primer color is already close to the color that the paint is. But now you can see that the Hail Navy shows up very well against the black, but you can see that it's very nice. We don't have to put a whole lot of product on in order to cover it up. But I will say this, I have never really been a fan of the color Hail Navy until we did this set. After we did this set, I was thinking, I actually really am coming around to the color Hail Navy. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the color Hail Navy? Do you like it? Do you like black? Or is there another paint color that we need to be looking into that we might like better than any of these other colors? So just to recap our day, we finished the Hail Navy set. It is a dresser and a chest. Here is the chest, and here is the dresser. We ended up taking that buffet to the store, and then our other custom work project was this perfect khaki one. We don't like to put the hardware on the same day that we paint. We like to let our paint cure. But that is all that we have left to do, is to put the hardware on and stage it and send it back to its owners. So that is just a day in the life. If you like these videos, make sure that you like and subscribe, and so that you can follow along with more day in the life videos. Thanks.